Stop getting involved, mate. You know what you're talking about, right?
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, Josh is going. Yeah, Josh, you take the camera. You take over.
No, I'm not taking that as well. What's up? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
How are you doing, everyone? Welcome to this week's Day in the Life of a Gas Engineer video. I know I haven't done an intro video like this for a while. I've just been pretty preoccupied with the baby sort of due any day now. I'm recording this on a Saturday. The baby's due on a Monday, and you lot are watching this on a Sunday. So I am really hoping that whilst you guys are watching this, I'm going to be in the delivery room. But who knows? I mean, Nikki's getting very frustrated now because she's feeling very uncomfortable. I'm a little bit in limbo with regards to booking work because I don't know what to book in. I'm not booking anything big in. I'm literally taking jobs on a day-by-day basis as and when they come, because I don't know when the baby's going to come. And when the baby does come, I'm going to probably be off for at least the remainder of August and probably the first week of September as well. We'll see how it goes, see what it's like once the baby's here. But really hoping the baby comes soon. And I really hope you guys enjoy this week's video as well. As always, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell button. I know it's summer. I know, you know, viewing numbers and subscriber count and all that, it all drops off during the summer period, which I get. I totally get. You guys have got better things to do than to be watching my videos, which is totally understandable. Whatever you guys are doing, just enjoy, and I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Right, we are here in Averley. Got Josh and Amir on this job. Well, it's actually Josh's job, so me and Amir are actually assisting him today. Gonna have a look inside. We've got a boiler swap to do and a power flush. So it's only going to be a heat only swap. I say only going to be a heat only swap. This is coming out. So we've got a Suprema HE, and then we've got a backseat heat only going in. Now, first things first, the backseat heat only is going to be sitting deeper, and we've got a side exit flue, so it means we're going to have to break the flue hole. And also, the way the pipework is around there, you can see it's really tight. So what we've brought with us just in case is an extra 500mm extension, which means that we'll probably drop the boiler a little bit lower. So we've got a little bit more space above to mess around with the pipework, because we need to get a filter on there as well. So by dropping it a little bit lower, it should give us a little bit more room. And also the fact that the flue is going to sit a little bit further along here, we should have a bit more space at the back. The gas, we are going to be upgrading to 22mm from down there, just all the way up to here, because the meter's at the front. It is coming off, was it coming off in 22 at the meter? Yeah. So we've got 22 coming off the meter, but we don't know what the gas run is like inside. It's only a 16 kilowatt boiler, and there's only a gas hob there as well. So hopefully working pressure should be okay. But if not, Josh is going to then speak to them about upgrading the gas run if we need to. But let's see, hopefully it should be fine. Condense right now is running into a soakaway, so we're going to do 1.25 inches straight into there. We're going to cut around that bit to get the 1.25 inches in. And then, like I said, the flue's there, which I reckon is probably going to get shifted over a little bit because of the depth of the new boiler. Yeah, so first things first, we're going to get the system drained out, get the boiler off the wall. It's on an S-plan system. Airing cupboard's upstairs. It's a little bit tight in there. I was initially thinking of taking the pump off and connecting the power flush machine straight onto the pump valves. However, I think it's probably just going to be a little bit easier to pop it over here. So once we get the boiler off, we'll connect the flow and returns onto the power flush machine straight from there. I think Josh said there's an outside tap somewhere. I think, yeah, he said he's seen an outside tap, so we should have somewhere where we can fill from. So let's get started. Let's get things drained out. Let's get the boiler off the wall and we'll get moving. Right, seeing as it's a nice day, setting the power flush machine outside, we're going to take the hoses in through the window and then connect straight onto the flow and returns rather than doing it all up in the airing cupboard. Luckily, I've got an outside tap just here, so garden hose straight onto there, and I can use this here to control the amount of water going in and out of it. So what we're doing right now is just getting the power flush machine filled up. We're going to let it heat up whilst we're getting the boiler off, so by that time that should be nice and hot. Then we can start circulating the chemicals around the system. System's draining out in the meantime. It's not looking too bad, but the power flush will let us know exactly how bad it really is. Right, flush is on using some C600 power flush cleaner from McDonald's Plumbing Supplies. So we managed to set it all up here, hoses straight through the window, boilers off the wall. Amir's just taking the brackets off. Oh, lovely, we've got flatheads.
Yep.
We love a flathead, don't we? So we just connected the power flush machine straight onto the fly and return primers up there. It just makes it easier than having to do everything upstairs. So he's going to get the bracket off of there. We're going to get the new bracket on because we're dropping the boiler lower. We'll get the new bracket on, line up, see if we can move the flue hole, re-core it or something on the other side, sort the gas out, sort the condense out, and then hopefully by that time the flush will be finished. Josh, you're not making us some coffees? Look, it's all set up for you. Can't get the help these days. But yeah, so system doesn't actually look too dirty either. We shall see. Keep you guys posted. So with the backseat heat onlys, you've got the top entry flue and you've got the rear entry flue as well. We're going to be using the top, so you can leave this blanked off. If you are going to be using a rear flue, I've done another installation video when I've done the rear flue. You basically just remove this and then this will go onto the bracket which is inside. So the flue fixes into the bracket, you hang this on and then it literally just goes straight onto the flue. But we're going to be using the top entry, so what we've got to do is remove this. You just got your 4 screws on there, that comes off. The turret goes straight on top, you use the same screws to secure it back on. And then we've got a side exit flue here. And what we've actually decided is because it's a little bit tight to do it the same height. Sorry, because it's going to be a little bit tight up there with the pipe work, we're actually going to just drop the boiler. We're not going to put an extension on. We're going to core a new hole slightly lower down so that we've got space above the pipe work to get the filter in, etc. So it means that the new core hole is probably going to come slightly over and about there. So we've still got the 300mm clearances from the 2 openable doors and windows, but it just means that we're going to have a little bit more space to play around with the pipework up there. So we're going to get the flue turret on. We're going to get the boiler on the wall, the new core hole cored, do the gas, do the condense, and then once the flush is finished, then we'll have an opportunity to get the fly and returns done. So that's the plan. Okay, the flue's done. We're not going to secure it just yet, but because if we were to secure it, seal it and everything, we're not going to be able to get to those connections at the back. So we've mocked it up so that we know that the size and everything is correct. All we've got to do now is once the flush is done, we're going to take this off, get those connected back onto there. We've got to fit a filter in here as well. It's only the Micro 2 filter, so it shouldn't be too bad. Once the connections are fine on there, then we just got to literally pop the flue back in and seal it up. But I think what we're going to do now is, so the hour has finished to circulate all the radiators, and now Josh and Amir are isolating the radiators one by one and flushing them out. So once that's been done, we'll start dumping. In the meantime, I will probably start working on the gas and possibly the condense as well. So we'll try and get a few bits done in the meantime, and then we should ideally at the end only have the fly and return connections left to do. I'll even try and get it wired up now as well, so they'll literally just be fly and return, flue and commission. Right, the flush is done. So I've picked up a fair bit of dirt. It was dirtier than I thought it was, considering it didn't look that bad in there, but you said as you were circulating it was getting dirtier and dirtier, wasn't it? So right, well, it's picked up a good haul. Going to clean that off and then start dumping, and in the meantime I've started on the gas, so soldering today instead of pressing. So that connection there is done. Literally just got to put an elbow onto there and then solder that section up, and then the gas is done. And then I'll probably work on the condense. Wiring is literally going to be so easy. You don't have to do anything in the PCB. You've got your switch live, neutral and earth, and out of here the brown is our switch live, then the neutral and earth. The red was the permanent live, so I'm just going to terminate that safely. And then the black was a pump live, so I'll terminate that safely. But yeah, wiring is a doddle on this boiler, which is another reason why I love it so much.
One more, bruv. Don't switch it.
You can't, because this is single directional, isn't it? So you can't reverse it.
No, I mean rads.
Oh, switch rads. Okay, cool.
Stop getting involved, mate. You know what it's all about, right?
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Josh is go. Yeah, Josh, you take the camera. You take over.
No, I'm not taking that as well.
What's up? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
You heard him. Right, so we've got one more radiator to dump. All the rest have been cleaned nicely. Boiler is, well, pretty much done. The gas is done. The condenser's done. So with the wiring's all done as well. So it's all tucked up in there as well. With the condense, we had a bit of a boo-boo. Josh was accidentally given 1.5 inch to overflow reducers from the supplier rather than 1.25 inch. But luckily, what we managed to do is he had an 1.5 inch to 1.25 inch reducers. Oh, power flush machine is running dry. Turn the water back on. Yeah, so we managed to make it work. So we've got an 1.5 inch elbow with the overflow reducer for the condenser going to there, and then 1.25 inch going out of there. And that's then going out of here and then back into that soakaway. Power flush machine. Right, let's stop the dump, so let it fill up. We're going to let that fill up, and then it's just a case of tidying up the power flush machine, doing the flying returns. So yeah, it's going well so far. The time is just before 3 o'clock, so it's not so bad. Right, we are almost done. So just on the flying returns, so they were back to front on there on the new Baxi. So obviously the flow was there, had to go onto this side. Return was here, had to go onto that side. So this is how I've had to do it. Squeeze the filter in as well. So I managed to take the flow straight up the back, elbow across, elbow back onto there. Luckily, we didn't have anything dripping, so I didn't have to press. I was all right soldering on this one. And then this, well, yeah, you can just see how I've done that there. May not look the prettiest, but it's functional. It's all accessible because once the flue goes in, I can still get to the filter. I can take it off and drain it down, whatever we need to do. So just letting that cool down because those brass rings are still a little bit hot because I've just been soldering around it. So once they cool down, pop the filter on because obviously I don't want to melt the O-rings. Then we're going to pressure test it. So fill up the system and leave it on test before we do the flue, because in case there is a leak on any of those joints, once the flue's in, we are going to struggle. So we'll get it filled up, have a little tidy up, leave it on test, and then do the flue. Well, the flue's already cut, it just needs to be pretty much sealed up. So out here, we've done the condense, that's all been sorted out. Old flue hole's been blocked up, new flue hole's there. Happy days. Right, boiler's done. It's up and running, it's been commissioned. Inhibit's been added, it's all been tested. We've got 20 millibar working pressure at the boiler, 21 at the meter, so we've got a 1 millibar drop. So although there's a little stub of 15 there, where we upsize this to 22. Again, it's only a 16 kilowatt boiler. There was a 24 in here before, which was oversized for the system anyway. So we're putting 16 kilowatt, which is perfect. Everything's getting hot, everything's balanced, so it's all good. Job done.